Okay, good evening. Welcome to the CITAC seminar today on IoT. So it's my privilege to have a short opening speech and also introduce to everyone a bit about CITAC for those who have been here the first time. So I hope you did have a chance to visit the exhibition area, which CITAC puts a lot of money and effort into organizing it. But tonight the speech is, or the seminar is about IoT, and we are very happy to have a few good speakers that will share what is actually being done in the industry today. So a lot of things that is being done this evening we would have a chance to share. But before that, please allow me to maybe provide a bit of a background about CITAC and also a bit about IoT. Firstly, CITAC was started, I think, in 2017, if I'm not wrong, because the construction industry faces many challenges. As we are all in the construction industry, the first thing that comes to mind is the increasing cost of construction, not because of anything, but because the productivity in the industry has been declining, right? If we look at other industry, maybe in manufacturing or in finance, the productivity can increase. But unfortunately, for those who have seen the chart, the productivity of the construction industry is declining. That's the biggest challenge, which brings up costs for everyone. Secondly, the construction industry has a difficulty attracting talents, right? Attracting people. Young people would rather do something else than joining the construction industry, although it pays quite well, especially these days, because they see it, we all say it's the 3D, right? It's dirty, it's demanding, and it's dangerous, right? Why? Because if you look at the construction industry, somebody has said that how we put up a building today is no different from maybe 100 years ago, the method, right? The only difference maybe we use more mechanical or electrical tools, but the method of putting a formwork hasn't changed a lot, which is fantastic, because if you think about other industries, the way that things were done 20 years ago in banking, where you still need to go to the bank, today you don't go, so there's a big change. Unfortunately, the construction industry is somewhat stuck in the old way of doing things. So that creates a lot of problems. And that's why the government has launched Construction 2.0, if you can see, to address some of the challenges that I mentioned. And how would Construction 2.0 try to do that? One, through innovation, which is why we have CITAC. One, through raising the professionalism, the training and the capacity. Third is revitalization. So basically, Construction 2.0 is a blueprint set by the Development Bureau to try and address some of the challenges that I mentioned earlier. So as I say, CITAC was started around 2017. I think this is a very special center, because firstly, as the name says, is to encourage innovation, but it's also to help application. So CITAC is not so much an R&D center, but to help the industry find innovation that can be applied to everyday use to raise productivity and so on. And today we have a few speakers that will actually showcase some of that application. CITAC has 5 areas. We call industrialization, which is how do I industrialize the manufacturing process of a building, right? So things like MIC, as we call it, how do I use more modularization and so on. Informatization, which is about digitalization, how do I digitalize the process, and IoT is one of the areas. That's why we are talking of informatization in IoT. Intelligentization, which is more about robotics, how do I use intelligent robotics to help in the construction process. Integration is about how do I use more data integration in helping the whole construction be more paperless, example. And infinity is more forward-looking. So these are the 5 I's which you will see in the exhibition area There are different exhibits. But then today is about informatization, and I have the privilege of being a champion for informatization. And today the topic is IoT. But why informatization? Because, very simple, it's not new to us. Our life has been informatized, our life has been digitalized since somebody say the tipping point was when the iPhone was invented. So our life has been turned upside down by the smart devices, the iPhone. So as an example, this is a picture from 2005 when the iPhone was not, I think, just invented, where they were announcing the Pope, right, the election of the Pope, where you see the smoke coming out. And in 2013, the picture changed differently, right? So 2001, 2005, nobody was taking any picture with iPhone because it didn't exist. 2013, people even have an iPad. So in the space of 8 years, so I won't be surprised you ask the people in 2013 whether they remember life with our iPad, they will say no, right? So the digitalization and informatization have changed our private life so much, we don't realize it. Unfortunately, in the industry space, it has not happened to that extent, right, as we know. Why is it so? And that's where we came in, that's where IoT comes in, I think. There is a lot of emphasis, a lot of talk, if you see on the right-hand side, about connected devices and how there will be billions and billions will be connected in the next few years, which is true if you look at. But if you think in a private life, all of us are connected, right? At least since 2005. But if you look around you in your work, not many things are connected, right? If you go to a construction site, if you want to check whether I have gas in the generator, I have to go down and maybe make a 30 minutes walk. If I want to check whether I have ticket at the cinema in Kowloon, I just open my phone, right? That's the difference. So the difficulty with industry space is the level of connectivity is not there yet because of the technology and because of, for whatever reason. So the hope is that IoT, where you have Internet of Things, so where if things or devices are as connected as humans, now you're talking differently, right? Things will change very fast, just like it has affected our private lives, right? So connectivity is the key, and IoT, there's a hope, right? There's still a lot of things going on. But the technology for IoT is maturing. So if we can see there the IoT technology stack, there's a couple of things that is IoT. When we say IoT, there's a couple of technology, right? First, on the bottom, you have the things, the devices. So the challenge for devices is how do I make it cheap and how do I make it low power so that I can make trillions of devices that can be connected, right? IoT is possible today. We have many examples, but to make it a mass to the scale, you need devices that cost 10 cents maybe, not $10. So that is a challenge, but there's a lot of work going on to lower the cost of the devices and extend the battery of the devices. The next thing is the center part, connectivity, right? Today, I think we have a speaker on connectivity, but another challenge of IoT is the connectivity. For smartphone, it's very easy, 3G, 4G, 5G, right? It seems to work fine, but for IoT, the challenge goes up because you need reliability, again, you need to worry about cost and so on. So connectivity, of course, 5G, there's a hope, but then that remains to be seen. And then you need the cloud. Of course, you have many clouds available, minimum, and again, the cost of cloud computing is coming down. I don't need to add more. And then you need what we call the enablement platforms, which is what sits on top of the cloud that does the analytics, that does the host the apps, and so on and so forth. So there's a few platforms that's coming out that will serve that purpose. Again, it's a matter of scale, right? Because again, the cost may be too high for everyday applications. Last but not least, then you look at the applications, could be different. So the technology is there, but I think the scale needs to go up, the cost needs to come down. And that's, but I believe that if you look at how iPhone has developed from 2005 to 2013, I believe the development will be very quick, and IoT will definitely pick up in scale as we see on the right hand side. So what about the construction industry? I think today we will see some applications, but if you look at the construction industry, I think the applications bundle on the right hand side is no different from other businesses. You have condition-based maintenance, right? So I have devices, I have equipment. How do I know the condition of the device or the equipment at any one time? Rather than doing maintenance every year, every month, I do the maintenance based on usage, right? Now that's a big difference. And maybe I will even know before it breaks, right? Because everybody knows that before something breaks, like a motor breaks, it screeches. You hear a sound. The problem is we don't know, we can't hear the sound now today, right? But if it is a connected device, you can sense the sound, there you go, right? So these are some of the things what we call condition-based monitoring, optimizing operations. We talk a bit about supervision. Can I use IoT device in place of paper-based supervision? Real-time tracking of workers and equipment. I think we have an example today. Using in safety, can I use IoT to track worker for safety purposes? Of course, if I have the data, I can do a lot of R&D. And last but not least, if I have the usage of the equipment, can I do rental, right? Can I do usage-based subscription model instead of selling the equipment? These are all different business models that can be enabled if you have data, which is possible from IoT. So, and I'll just end here. But before that, please do join our iClub, which you will get a lot of information, not only on seminars, but different events. You can just join by scanning the QR code. And again, iClub is for free. So a little bit of promotion for iClub, but please do visit the CITAC exhibition area outside. Thank you.